The morning sun rose lazily, painting the skyline in gold and silver, but for Bill, the beauty of dawn held no comfort. He sat by his office window, staring absently at the stream of cars crawling through the streets below. His assistant's voice came faintly from the doorway, announcing meetings, appointments, and figures that once excited him, but today they were noise. His mind was far away in the quiet town of Enugu, where his past lay buried under years of ambition and silence. After his encounter with Adora that night, her simple gratitude, the look in her eyes, something in him had cracked open. He couldn't explain it. She reminded him of something, or someone. Maybe it was the way she spoke, respectful yet firm, or that quiet resilience in her posture. It stirred memories he had spent a lifetime suppressing. He exhaled sharply, rose from his chair, and pressed the intercom. "Cancel my day, Chuka. Tell them I had to travel, family matters." Within an hour, his private jet was slicing through the clouds toward Enugu. The air there was different, softer, almost haunting. The red earth carried a smell of rain and nostalgia. Bill hadn't been back in over 20 years. The streets had changed, new stores, fresh billboards, but the feeling of the place was the same, that blend of warmth and peace. He drove himself, taking the long road that wound. Past his old neighborhood, he slowed as he approached a small row of bungalows, now faded and quiet. There it was, Beatrice's house, once painted cream, now dulled to a tired brown. The iron gate leaned awkwardly, as if tired of standing. A woman was sweeping the front yard, older, but strong-looking, with a scarf tied firmly over her head. When she saw him step out of the car, she froze mid-sweep. "Oh my God. Bill," she gasped. "Is this really you?" He blinked, trying to place her. Then it hit him. Auntie Grace. She dropped the broom and covered her mouth, laughing and crying all at once. "Ah, the Lagos big man has remembered his people, and come inside, my son, come inside." Inside, the small sitting room smelled faintly of soap and kerosene. Photographs lined the walls, children, weddings, old memories. Bill's eyes moved to one frame, Beatrice, smiling shyly, holding a baby girl. He felt his throat tighten. She had a daughter. He whispered. Auntie Grace sighed. "Yes, she did. But life was not kind to her, my son. After you left, she tried to manage. She worked in a small clinic, doing whatever she could. That girl was her whole world." Bill stared at the photo, his hands trembling. "What happened to them? Where are they?" Auntie Grace's eyes softened with pity. "Beatrice died some years ago. Sickness, stress, too much pain. But the girl," she hesitated, "the girl survived. She was barely 10 when her mother passed, strong child. She worked hard, went to school somehow, always saying she wanted to make her mother proud." Bill felt the room spin slightly. "What's her name?" "Adora." The word hung in the air like a thunderclap. He sat back, his heart pounding. The cleaner from his office, the one who had smiled at him with quiet respect, the one whose voice had shaken him to his core, was Beatrice's daughter. He wanted to speak, to ask questions, but his voice refused to come. Auntie Grace continued, softly, unaware of the storm inside him. "She's in Lagos now, working in one big office there. You won't believe it, she is seeing herself through school too." Bill closed his eyes again. For the first time in decades, he felt the weight of every decision he had made. His success, his empire, all suddenly hollow. He stayed in Enugu till evening, walking the dusty streets of his youth, haunted by ghosts of choices and faces long gone. As he prepared to leave, Auntie Grace pressed a small envelope into his hand. Inside was a faded photograph of Beatrice holding a baby wrapped in yellow cloth. She said, "If you ever came back, I should give you this," Auntie Grace murmured. Bill stood for a long time beside his car, staring at the photograph. Then, very slowly, he whispered, "I met her, Beatrice. I met our daughter." The wind rustled through the trees, as if carrying Beatrice's sigh across time. The sun had begun to slide low behind the Enugu hills, throwing a golden haze over the compound where he stood, motionless, as Auntie Grace's words washed over him like waves he could not resist. "Beatrice suffered, my son. She truly did, but she never once cursed your name." Her voice trembled as she spoke. The faint rustle of mango leaves above them carried the kind of silence that only memories could hold. Bill looked around the compound, faded walls, a broken swing, and the sound of children playing faintly down the street. It was as though time had paused here, unwilling to move on without her. He swallowed hard. She didn't try to reach me. Auntie Grace gave a tired smile, lines deepening around her eyes. She tried. For months she wrote letters, but you were gone, and your people. They didn't help matters. When your father found out she was pregnant, he told her to forget about marrying you. Beatrice was too proud to beg. Bill's chest tightened. He turned slightly, staring at the cracked veranda where he could almost see her, Beatrice, laughing softly as she once did, that sparkle in her eyes that made him lose his breath. Auntie Grace continued, voice soft. She left for Nasuka. Had her baby there, named her Adora after the prayer she prayed every night. She said the name would mean something one day. The name struck him like thunder. Bill froze. His lips parted, but no sound came out. Adora, the cleaner. The girl with the calm eyes who had made him feel emotions he had no business feeling. He staggered slightly, turning away to hide the storm building behind his calm exterior. Meanwhile in Lagos the corridors of Arinze Holdings echoed faintly with the sound of Adora's mop sliding rhythmically across the marble. But that night, something felt different. The air seemed heavy. She had been restless all day, distracted even as she worked. When her friend Angela asked if she was fine, she forced a smile and said she was, but deep inside, she couldn't shake the strange ache in her chest. It wasn't sadness exactly, it was a pull, like something far away was calling her name. She paused by the window at the end of the corridor, looking out at the city lights of Lagos. The skyline glittered, alive and indifferent, but she felt distant from it, as though her world was about to shift in a way she couldn't explain. Her phone buzzed, a text from her cousin. In Enugu, a man came asking about Mama Beatrice today. He looked rich, like someone from the city. Adora frowned. Mama Beatrice, she whispered. Something in that message made her heart race. She took a deep breath, glancing toward Mr. Bill's office door, closed as usual. She didn't know why, but his name whispered through her mind at that moment, and for a brief second, her hand trembled. Back in Enugu, Bill sat on the old wooden bench beside the mango tree, elbows on his knees, head bowed. He replayed every encounter. With Adora, her quiet humility, the way she avoided eye contact, the strange sense of familiarity that had always unsettled him. He thought it was admiration, curiosity, maybe even guilt, but now the truth loomed like a shadow too vast to deny. No wonder, he murmured under his breath. No wonder my heart felt strange every time she smiled. Auntie Grace returned, holding a worn-out album wrapped in fabric. She sat beside him, flipping carefully through its yellowed pages. Then she stopped at a photo, Beatrice, younger, radiant, holding a baby wrapped in white cloth. Bill reached out, fingers trembling as they touched the faded image. He felt a tear sting his eye. That's her. Yes, Auntie Grace whispered. That's Adora. She would be 22 now. Bill's head lifted slowly, eyes wide, face drained of color. 22. Yes. She was born in 2003. He stood abruptly, breath short, heart pounding. That was exactly Adora's age. The truth sealed itself inside his chest like a blade. Lagos, the same night Adora sat on her small bed in her shared apartment, a half-eaten plate of jollof beside her. She was scrolling through her phone absent-mindedly when she saw a notification from the company's staff app. Mr. Rins will be away for a few days on business in Enugu. Her chest tightened again. Enugu, the same town her mother had spoken of in her old stories, the same place she'd been born but barely remembered. She lay back, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazily, whispering to herself, Mama, what really happened back then? Sleep didn't come easy that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Mr. Bill's face, stern, kind, familiar in a way that made no sense. The following morning he came to see Auntie Grace. Her voice was faint behind him. She was proud, but she loved you till the end. That girl, Adora, she grew up strong, Beatrice always said. She took after you, too stubborn for her own good. Bill turned, his voice barely a whisper. She works for me, Auntie Grace, in Lagos. She's my cleaner, the old woman gasped softly, clutching her chest. Oh my God. Then, she doesn't know. Bill shook his head. No, and God help me, I didn't know either. He took a deep, trembling breath, eyes glistening. How do I tell her?